The Secret Garden of Alden. Young Alden lived in a world painted with stardust and whispered secrets. A fallen leaf was a dragon's scale, a puddle, a shimmering lake where mermaids danced. His room, filled with ordinary toys, transformed into grand kingdoms and bustling spaceports with just a blink of his bright eyes. His parents, Clara and Arthur, watched him with a mix of love and a little worry. "He's always off in his own head," Clara would sigh gently. Arthur would nod. "Imagination is good, but life needs a steady footing too." They longed for him to see the world as it was, not just as he dreamed it could be. Clara often tried to engage him in practical tasks. "Alden, help me sort these buttons by color," she'd suggest. But for Alden, the buttons weren't just buttons. They were precious jewels for a queen's crown, or tiny planets orbiting a distant star. Arthur, with his steady hands, would show Alden how to fix a wobbly chair or measure wood for a shelf. "Precision is key, son," he'd explain. Alden would listen, but in his mind, the measurements were secret codes to unlock forgotten chambers, and the tools were magical instruments. As Alden grew, the whispers of his imaginary world began to fade, replaced by the louder calls of reality. School projects, exams, and career choices demanded his focus. He learned to think logically, to plan, to build things that were sturdy and real, not just fantastical. He became a successful architect, designing buildings that touched the sky, strong and functional. He was respected, admired, and very practical. Yet sometimes, while sketching a blueprint, a faint echo of a dragon's wing or a mermaid's song would brush against his mind, quickly dismissed. Years later, sitting in his quiet apartment, he picked up a simple paperclip. For a moment, it wasn't just a bent piece of metal. It was a tiny silver bridge connecting two distant islands, or a miniature grappling hook for a daring explorer. The old spark, long dormant, flickered. He started to seek out those forgotten sparks. He'd walk through parks, not just for exercise, but to see the trees as ancient giants, the clouds as galloping horses. He began to sketch, not blueprints, but whimsical creatures and impossible landscapes, just for himself. One sunny afternoon, he watched his young niece, Lyra, build a fort out of cushions. "It's a spaceship, Uncle Alden," she declared. Instead of correcting her, he joined in, suggesting a control panel made of remote controls and a star map drawn on a napkin. Alden realized then that his imaginary world hadn't vanished. It had simply been waiting. He was still a practical man, building real structures, but now his imagination was a secret garden within him, adding color and wonder to every corner of his life. He had found his balance, a beautiful blend of what was and what could be.